and both building through the competition.
Absolutely. So here we go. Stand by. Last game of the day. 40 minutes to go.
I mean,
if
it's anything like the first 3 games we've seen in finals, we're in for another treat.
Yeah.
My heart rate's high. Let's go.
Yeah, Apple Watch telling you to take a seat.
Take a breath. Take a moment. Never.
Good pressure for second touch there.
Oh, that's
a strong start.
Strong start for England. I was going to say nervy start for France, but gives England that first sniff if they can get down to the line, with Iris getting onto the ball early, taking the team forwards.
Good drive, good yards made.
Good roll ball, that's great. Small things, like we said, like you wouldn't imagine that this was youth touch because some of the nuances in how they're playing is so strong. And
good composure and defence there from France.
Here we go. And again, thinking of the long game, that's 6 touches. It's the furthest point of the pitch away from the French sub-box.
Good place
They've got to go
leave
the
it.
distance here.
Yeah, and I know, speaking of Jess, they backed themselves to force turnovers. They back the physical conditioning of this team. They want to be able to kill the ball in the French half and then really put the squeeze on, trying to force the surrender of possession. That's a big touch on the wing.
Heavy hit, and that's,
Too big? Too big.
Too big.
Nah, not for me. Not for me.
Should do it again.
Yeah, for me, that's perfect.
The right side of the grey line.
Exactly. France now trying to get some momentum going forward. They use the 32 platform. Back into the middles.
Nice. I think it's Athena, number 32. A lot of the French attack goes through her. She's very, very good at what she does on the ball, and England have managed to hold her out this time, and the French team out this time.
Yeah, and I've got to say, watching this French team a couple of times now, absolutely rapid in open space. So England would probably be coming up in that umbrella pattern, trying to
compress them in. Yeah,
exactly that.
Don't give them that outside.
Absolutely, as we come in England, they've got a 5th touch platform to come. What are they going to go for? They've got one up. The French have managed to probably win that one-up battle, but they come down to this edge again, thinking long-term. Jess has got the ball in her hands. Here we go.
Oh, great cover there in defence from the French.
Yeah, good option though, good option.
Spot on, and again, that's 2 sets in a row. England have left the ball far away from the French sub-box, so the French are going to have to go the distance if they want to sub off and bring fresh legs on, but that is a sniff for England.
Yeah, this is the opportunity that they want. Essentially a penalty on the line. Repeat set 6.
And that B. Graham setting the 32. Here we come, and that's, but they've been given a second option, a lifeline.
Oh, I've got to say that's one of my big bugbears in touch, overworking on first.
I think that's fair.
That is a coach killer.
Take the ball down.
Here we go, the link punish. That is so, and that is...
You've jinxed it there, I feel.
The curse of the commentator.
I'll put my mic down, eh?
Just finish the ice latte and come back in 2.
Yeah,
good contact.
Yeah, I love that. Just holding her up in the contact, making the French work to win the roll ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I feel again like that's a new, players coming into the game sometimes don't appreciate that or quite understand that, but it's such a nuance. Is that an intercept?
It is.
Was, but I think they're going to give the penalty there, yeah.
I dispute this.
Here we go.
Because intercept is 0 touch.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to have the intercept or the penalty?
Intercept. Because then you can run and get 0, yeah. Let them play. Let the girls play. Yeah.
My only argument there was I'm not sure what advantage they'd have gained from the position from which they caught that intercept. I think I'd take the pen.
With Catherine taking the intercept, you give her space. Here we go. But yeah, here we go. And again, England, again, just small things. They're getting the ball down well. They're moving the ball. 5th and final. I expect them to probably come towards this side, the camera side, which is again moving it back. But again, it's another set where they've left the ball on the 7 from the French. They're putting in good shots in the midfield. They're making it difficult for the French to get the ball down, and that is a prime example of why.
England feel like they're settling into this game now.
Yeah,
they are.
Power on the ball has been key through the campaign, I think.
Yeah, get her on the ball, get her going at the line. That's a great long ball out to Catherine, and that's probably the first time we've seen England get a platform and move the ball wide. It's in the locker. Let's see what else they can use in the rest of this set. So that was their first crack. They might get 2 more here.
On the long.
32 long. French sabres turned in. Clara's found the line. Is it going to be a score, or is the touch coming first? I think it looks like that's a touch.
First.
But again, it's smart. You've made, They've had a 33, they've gone long, they've brought it back with a 32 long towards the other side. What are they going to do as their third option? That's fifth. Their last option, another 32 long, but that is a roll ball error, letting France off the hook here.
Yeah, potentially just needs to take a little bit of pace off the dump. You know, yes, everyone wants to get that dump down really fast, get in and out very quickly, but you've got to take care of rule number one, and that's the ball.
100%.
If you're letting that ball roll too much, you're just surrendering possession to France.
Great yards there from
Correct.
France.
And the irony of your comments there, you know, you want to look after the ball, and that's why they've been so successful in this first, 5 minutes. They put France under a lot of pressure by making it difficult for them to get the ball down, by winning the roll ball when they've got it. And the irony that they can't quite just figure that out on the line at the moment. Hopefully they can tighten that up as the French look to attack England on probably,
She's recovered well there.
Here we go, their second genuine sort of crack at line attack as they move the ball back. But
Again,
England's
looking calm in defence.
It does.
Looking calm.
Cool, calm and collected.
6 touch
Great
turnover.
awareness there of the touch count. Ready for that quick turnover.
Oh, good awareness.
Feet.
Good work. Is that second?
I think that might be first.
Yeah, first. That's
That's
second.
second. Good. Here we go. Oh, that's that gives France an opportunity. It is. I mean, England have had the first sort of 5.5 minutes, the rub at the green. They've been putting France under pressure, and this is the opportunity that France have. But they look to be subbing. So if England can get up now and take away third here, I feel they'll really get a bit of which they are. So that's
Great
3.
pressure there.
And they've kept them off the 7. That's really good work from the English girls. If I was the French, I'd be trying to go forwards, get closer to that 7, get your platform, understand what you're going to play. But at the moment, England have definitely got the advantage. But that's a great roll ball into 5th as they look to come back open side hole 1. But the English defence
cover there on the insides.
Yeah, at the moment, France trying to work the middle plays, but the intensity from England is just driving them back, and then you're having to strike from, rather than 7 metres out, you're striking from 10, 15 metres out. And
difficult to find the line from that distance,
100%.
isn't it? Yeah.
You've got to get the line into play, really, particularly now how it's increased from 5 to 7 metres in the new rule book. You've really got to get that line in play. That's a brilliant latch.
Here from England.
Brilliant getting the ball down. Good keeping it up. Is that live? Nice, good work. 5th coming. Here we go. B. Graham. Oh, it's not square hips, but that's good. Again, intent coming out of the box. Great latch. Good ball movement. Just about playing on the right side of touch and pass, sort of grey area.
Yeah.
Just in a few words, explain latch for people who aren't quite sure.
Oh, good call. So when we're coming out the box, basically it's a way to try and get an overlap. So you're going to have your winger's going to be the person who's going to go pick the ball up, but you're trying to get onto sort of not the next player on, which we call the link, but it's the one in from that, so the middle. So what we're trying to do is get our link to make the touch on their middle with our winger at half. I definitely haven't explained that well for the visual learners, but
I think with the latch as well, again, it's all about moving the defence. So you want to try and compress the field to one side so that when your fresh legs come on, you've got that space to then run into.
100%.
Definitely, yeah. You should have a 4 and 3 off the bat with momentum against the front line. It's the intended outcome as France win a penalty.
Yeah, dropping early England. You get to see the saver middle just dropping as France rolled into their attack, and even though you're trying to absorb that touch and get to the line, you've still got to move forward.
Definitely, as the noise of Alayla Bleu comes from the in-goal.
Let's go, Jess. Great touch.
I was about to say, nice recovery there. Step up off the line, make that touch.
Yeah, she's conscious of her profile.
Here we go, as they trying to release on the 32 out ball, and England have done well to hold that, but again it's good intent from the French. They look like they're attacking the line, then they're picking up, they're shaping one way, and they're moving the ball back to the other side of the field. It's just smart. Unless England can get a bit of forward momentum here. Good hands, good work, and good ball movement. Well, she's learned from the best older brother she can, right?
I don't want to take too much credit because I'll get it in the neck when I'm in the car, but she's showing that she can play.
Here, England.
I thought she'd gone through the gap.
Oh, it's tight. Is that 3? So again, this is probably the set where England have struggled to build the momentum, but that's a great drive and brilliant. I mean, good situational awareness to get that platform. Here comes Clara. Can she cruise through? Yes, she can. Who can get free? And the touch has happened. But what? Didn't get the number. Who set the platform? Because that really came from 2 brilliant touches. I feel the shout needs to go there.
It's number 3, I think.
3. Who have we got here? Madeline Great work. Keep doing that.
Yeah, just a little bit of off field. Cara Edwards sub straight off, holding that right quad. And Cara is such an influential player in this side. That's not someone you want to lose in a final.
No, not early. I mean, again, it will be a good test of resilience for this English team if they've got to cover. And you know, she's having a chat with the physio now, and hopefully we see her back on the pitch.
Yeah, I've got a feeling last game of the touch calendar, really.
Yeah,
she'll keep running.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
They do have that breadth across the board, though.
They do. They absolutely do. And speaking of, I know.
Good ball movement there.
Absolutely. I think it's Eloise on number 11. Runs with the 10. B. Graham going in, finding the line. The two, though, they are ones to watch for the future, aren't they? Eloise, number 11, I think has got a huge future ahead of her.
Yeah.
As does B. I think B's captain of this side, and has been leading by example in all of the games. It's been fantastic to watch her play. Eloise on the ball, running with good intent, good shape, good option. She's done well to get that away.
I mean, running a rooster really release. Outrageous in women's 18s.
100%. I'd love to see that winger. I think it's number 8, so is that Elise? Love to see her tuck in a little bit more. So that rooster early release, they've created the space out on this wing, and if they can just realign, tuck in, and just like run onto the ball, I feel England could get a lot of success for using that play.
Yeah, definitely. England at the moment may be guilty of the 1%ers not quite sticking, but it's early doors. You know, 11 minutes into the first half, no scores on the board, both defences being very stubborn when it comes to the opposition's line attack. But I would say, you know, I'm trying not to be overly biased, England probably finding the more success when they get in good field position.
Yes, I would agree with you. We've had a scooping goal, we've had a couple of very close calls, and I think you're right. I think it's very much in the balance, but it's very much, I think England are probably, if you were going to say a winner of the first sort of 10, 11 minutes, I'd say you'd have England up at this point in time, and it'll be interesting to see, can they convert this pressure? Good ball movement. Here we go. Roll ball on the 7. That's a great platform for 5th. There's no one else out there. They're late to bring a sub on, but they've won a penalty.
Very, very good play, an educated play. The composure just to go, aren't you dropping early, pal?
Yeah, on 5th, I think we'll have 6 more.
Let's see them use this set now.
Here we go. So here's just sweeper play. A little bit lateral, but
that's all right.
Again, you've got your read on the French. They're tight. Here we go. Danger play. Jess on the punish. We spoke about it before the game, and what's about to be the call here? Third touch.
But again, they've compressed this field, so let's see if they can use the space they've created out to the right.
It's so compressed on the left. If they can get the ball down quickly, if Iris gets the ball back here, she's in a lot of space.
Give it back.
Oh, that's a tricky one. If she can just square her hips up a little bit, that's definitely where the space is.
Yeah.
It was on. It looked like the try line was begging, but the hips just aren't square at the base of the ruck.
Oh, and again, it's good play from England, and because of the sustained pressure,
it's
earned another
there.
6. You'd love to see this pressure turn into some sort of change on the scoreboard, but again, you don't want to force it. You want to play free. You want to stick to your process, get the ball on the 7, let your players have a go.
Again, you want to see them get themselves up to the 7 here, have a crack at the line.
Here we go, and that's just sweeper play. France haven't really got pre-touch here. They've gone wing early, and the touch is in. But the referees are coming here. Again, it's a bit of space there, but early in the set, I don't know. It's a small, short side to be sweeping into, so maybe, you know, finding the line, stepping back, maybe a QB options. It would be interesting to see if they come through the game as the time.
As I say, still potentially sussing out the defence, finding out where that space is.
I've got a feeling in the second half we'll start to see the step back. We'll start to see the QB, Swinger, trying to scoop through from that platform. England, and I was talking to Jess, they're very happy not scoring early because they back their defence, and they'd much rather condition to execute later on in the game.
Brilliant. And as you say about that defence, they've just proven it there. France not getting to that line currently. England having all the field. Oh, I've jinxed it. It's my turn now.
Have your ice latte, come back in 2.
Yeah, come on. No more commentators curse, please. 6 minutes to go in this first half, and we are locked at 0-0. It's a battle of defence at the moment.
You're right, it's really interesting. Looking at the stats from the tournament as well, this England girls 18 side have not conceded many tries. So
not at all.
That's it's great to hear that they back themselves to keep scoring, because at the moment...
It's a good touch there. Great roll ball there from France. Done really well to get that ball down.
that's the benefit you get of pressing in defence. France felt like they had to move the ball quickly, when in actuality they didn't. They had time, but you don't recognise that when you're up against it.
Definitely. And
However,
you see,
I think given a penalty there, so fresh set 6. Let's see what they can do with it.
Link punish.
save is a
Step
little bit
up off the
wide,
line.
and that's a bit of space. But
great defence there, stepping up off the line.
What's happened here?
Just a little bit of
checking on her.
Yeah, a little bit.
Checking on a contact there.
Yeah, a little bit of contact, but we love it. I mean, the game is called touch, but we love a bit of contact.
You can win and lose the touch.
And what's happening here? They're trying that outball again, and a good read.
Really
France,
solid D.
France are throwing, they're finding the line, they're going natural, they're throwing different shapes and, different pictures for the English defence to problem solve, and they're absorbing it. I mean, it's good to see, and at the moment, it's just paying dividends. 15 minutes in, it looks composed, it looks comfortable. Just love to see them really pull the trigger and execute in this half. Because going in, I imagine at this situation, if you're England, you're like, if we can go in with a score on the board, we'll be very comfortable.
Really nice movement of the ball
Great
there.
ball movement.
And again, great
So
momentum on
good.
yards.
And it's the core skills as well of
third.
predicting the touch, getting the ball down early, crisp, clean transition. I mean,
Finding your half.
Andy Pennicard's probably sat there in the sub box going, what more can we do?
Not much. And that's an
good
intercept.
read.
Good
Great
feed.
feed.
Touch 0, so this will be first coming.
But again, good pressure there.
Again,
Up
just
in twos from England.
Yeah, staying connected. It's what you want. You want 6 players in defence, understanding their roles, moving in unison. Even if you're shooting in 2s or 3s, it's together, it's connected. It's hard for teams to break down. We spoke in the last game about teams getting frustrated if they're not getting over the line, and I feel like that's exactly where we're living at the moment between France and England.
Yeah, completely agree. Just imagine for a moment that we do go into half-time 0-0. Obviously, there's still plenty of time for scores to get on the board. Who's going to be happy with that?
Good question.
I think you'd have to say France would be happier with that as an outcome from the first half. But I think Dom said it already, like, you know what you can do based on the experience that you've got through the tournament. And so far, England know that they can build throughout a game, and they know that they can get scores on the board. So
yeah, I was going to say, well, do England go happy? Because I was going to say the same thing and say, actually, France be happy because they're there or thereabouts. But as you said, if England back their second half performances, maybe they go into half time and your message from the coaches, we're exactly where we want to be.
Yeah.
We've done what we said we were going to do. We've defended hard. We've left the ball down on the 7 more often than not. We've had a couple of mistakes creep in the last sort of 6 or 7 minutes, but actually...
Oh, good pace there. Great recovery from the French defender.
I think there's something to be said as well from the English coaching staff. You probably are happy with what you've seen, because you sort of have France. Oh, lovely!
Can she cruise through? Can she? I think the touch has happened.
Good covering touch there.
Brilliant response of
Then
the
it's
defence.
When you get in goal there, you've got more time than you realise. I think England need to start looking for that option 1 out, because France are just recovering so well to cover those first spaces.
For me, when you scoop through, it's very easy to buy the first option, and I think the scooping player, I understand it's a final, emotions are high, but just that extra second of composure, just to pick good options, allows your supporting players to find space, which is the most important thing, because at the moment the supporting players are being crowded out by the French defence.
Absolutely, it's like bees to a high, and it's like we're going straight in, whereas actually you want to give that half space to run and get yourself free, particularly if it's a Dow House honey hide.
Honestly, I can't escape the Dow House hoodie. Actually, can't.
It's everywhere. It's including my cover.
I think that's a slightly harsh call.
Stay composed here.
English player was called offside. She retreats to go back, and then it seems like the hand signal was dropping early.
This is big here. Can English defence hold out? Great touch. There's a minute to go. That's all right, well, here we go. So let's have a look at this again. So what player have we got? She's commanding the troops. We get some separation. Runs the mid-mid counties, steps into the mid. Or was that short side? No, it's mid-mid. I think that's a really good effort.
Good honesty there.
Great honesty.
From Jess.
Really good stuff. just, again, making the touch, winning the short side, so key.
And it's a great finish there. That dive's gone underneath that player. She's up off the line in defence. Player's gone in underneath.
Here we go, and here we go. Actually, to be fair, England, if you've got the opportunity, if they can strike and get a score here, penalty. So you've got about 20 seconds.
20
you might
seconds,
get one.
let's go again.
You might get one strike at the line. If they can get back and roll the ball quickly, get a strike. It's all or nothing on this one here. They can score and level it up. How good are the French fans?
Okay.
Oh, good. Here we go.
Unfortunate there for that French defender, but what a way to finish that first half.
Oh, the dummy pump says bye to the defence. Sit down.
Oh my.
I was thinking England were going to go in a try down, but no, right on the hooter.
I was preparing the answer to your questions about the coaches' comments, and now it's changed.
Honestly, what a finish to the half, and sort of shaping up like a chess match. If you go in evens, you said the French, but I think right now, with that right on the hooter, I think England will be the happier.
Honestly, coming back from behind, you can't beat that in a final. It gives you that confidence, doesn't it, that you can... just watching on the replay there.
So unlucky.
So unfortunate with the slip, but good way to capitalise and find the line.
I mean, the highs from the French thinking they're going in ahead to the lows of, now we've got to build that all again. What a second half we've got coming up. I mean, this is going to be fantastic.
Oh, it's set up to be an absolute stormer. And I ask you this question last game. I'll do the same for yourself.
I was going to say, does that mean you're going to Dom first this time?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, we'll stick Dom under the pressure. Interventions, attack and defence for England.
England, I feel, have started really well in attack. I feel like they've been trying to run some sweeper plays. They're looking to find the line. As I said early on, if we could see them picking up and going against the grain, feeding the QBs, the step backs, I feel that's their next sort of like protocol. Otherwise, they can go to their 32 out balls, which they started to do, 32 longs. I think they were having some success finding some space with that. But anything to sort of get the defence chasing laterally, I think they'll find some good outcomes from trying that.
Defence?
Defence, I think they're actually pretty sound. The one thing I'd like to see from the English defenders consistently is making the touch and going sideways, laterally a little bit more first, forcing an earlier step back. At the moment, I feel a couple of people are making the touch, squaring up, going man on, and that's given the French a couple of sniffs. It's only happened once or twice, but it's something you want to eradicate straight away.
100%, 100%. You know the question for the French?
I was going to say, and not just because I'm English, I think the fix for the French in attack is slightly more challenging because of that pressure on their driving from England. They need to find a way to get that ball away around that shooting English defence. However, we know that they've got that flair. We know that they can do it. So if they can kind of get that momentum going forward, then it's anybody's game, I think.
Yeah, and for the vast majority of that half, the French defence was superb. I mean, a lot of last-ditch touches, but touches nonetheless.
They're getting them in there.
You know, Don's suggesting that England move back against the grain and use their variations from things like the sweeper platforms. If that starts to happen, how would you fix that from a French perspective?
From a French perspective, I mean, we haven't seen them try and defend it yet. They might have it. They might have it in the bank. As I say, they just need good pre-touch and stepping up early and trying to make those reads, put pressure on the England players as they pick up against the grain.
Yeah, completely agree. And I've got a feeling this second half is going to start to open up because both defences have been, so positive, really getting up, putting the pressure on. But England forcing more turnovers and then subsequently having more possession, I've got a feeling you're going to see England start to build that pressure and then start to capitalise on it.
Definitely, and as the game goes on, I mean, defending for the majority of the time, or the majority of the half on your line, it's hard work. I mean, an attack, particularly at the moment with the way the game's going, it's a lot more stand, pass, defence, you're moving around a lot more. So that will naturally have its kind of wear and tear on the French bodies in the first 20 minutes, and you should see a couple of mistakes, a couple of people maybe just being a little bit more fatigued, creeping in from the French side, and actually England might get some success. I mean, we've seen them scoop through in goal twice. It'll be interesting to see if England can get that out of their box coming on in the second half.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think we keep forgetting because of the standard, it is under 18s, and actually mentally, it's who can be strong when the pressure's on, which is going to be in the second half, so it's exciting.
Yeah, I think there's a big thing to be said about the mental toughness of these two sides, because two have such a dominant defensive showing for both sides. if scores start to creep in, that could then increase the doubt, and it's about backing your ability, backing the defensive system more than anything.
And what you've done to get to the final in the first place.
Exactly, exactly.
You know you've got it.
This one's put right on a knife edge. England will have the tap-off in the second half.
Have they kept something in the bank for the
Yeah.
tap-off in the final? What are we going to see here?
I hope so. What are we saying? Brave call from either of you. Do they go and score off the tap-off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dom's backing it.
Yeah, strike pod on.
Yeah, we're backing it.
Gotta
Cara
back
Edwards
it.
on the ball. Yeah, cries of come on England, come on now. Last half of the day, last half of the tournament, let's finish on a high. England 1, France 1.
Great yards there off of 2.
Whip it to the wing early doors.
Here we go.
Ooh,
Here we go. Here we
On the
go.
sweep, on the
Going
line.
back short side, Close. Oh, looked like hole one might have been open there. That's kind of like putting my money where my
we
mouth
got-
is. I feel like that might have been it.
Got another crack at the line though.
Yeah, that's a really good, fast and 10 on the ball.
Yes!
Ice latte for Dom.
Yeah,
Back in
commentator's curse. Coming full circle.
Ice vanilla latte, no?
Oh, is
extra
it really?
caramel.
That's my order too. Go on.
I've just been dumped in it. Here we go. Good. Is that ML snapback? Whack.
What a finish, reaching for the
Full
line.
stretch, and what a start for England. I mean, having taken 19 minutes and 55 seconds for your first score, scoring in the first 40 seconds of the second half is a great confidence booster.
Well, 2 tries in a minute, really.
Yeah.
But
Superb
as we
play.
said, defence here is key. Can they
yeah.
hold them out?
But look
Yeah.
at England getting up, putting the press on.
Is that fifth? Trying to go short side here.
Yeah, they
Force them. That's nice. That's good connection.
Good pressure.
Yeah, that's what we want to see, and that's what the English girls are so good at, is moving as a 6 and forcing the French to go back.
Almost like
Take
you're
it
on a
forward.
string.
Oh, exactly that. And again, I think still a little bit of space for the touches to start to win the short side before
Really
getting
nice
onside.
yards there.
But it's getting there. Needs a teammate. Oh, that's
Just coming unstuck in the transition.
Just a
Players
little bit.
trying to get off the pitch, tired legs, forgetting about the ball. That's rule 1. Can't forget about the ball. France will take 2 touches up the box, get the fresh legs on.
100%. If England can kind of just hold them here, that's third touch. So France looking like they're only going to get 1 strike of the line. That's 4th.
Good,
Can
strong
they stay
touch there.
connected for 5th? And what are France going to do to try and break this English line?
Great
Looks like a
separation
32
there in the
rooster.
middles.
And that's 6. That is great awareness to shut that there.
Looking for the fade.
Yeah.
Looking for the fade.
Interesting.
It's not something you see in adult club rugby, let alone junior.
That could be a sign of things to come.
High touch, not necessarily a lot of force in it, but on the base of the chin.
Yeah,
Hard touch always given, and England will have a relatively easy out.
yeah. From what looked like a potential
5 to
sticky
half
situation, that's first. Coming into second, I mean, they're going to break their 10 on 3, so you'd feel like they're going to have a good platform coming out of the box here if they can leave it. And oh,
I think we're going to be
But
called back
no.
through for the mark there.
Yeah,
That's-
just an extra step through the contact.
yeah, that's 2 errors in a row. England trying to get out of their own half, so they've
Going to be
given
some
France a
tired
sniff
legs
here.
here in defence.
That's an amazing dump. See, that's the touch that you will overstep. To be able to predict it, get the ball down. So impressive for people of such a young age. Oh, and the pressure from the wing. You've got to get out.
Brilliant,
outside.
Reed, get back.
Go
Watch
back
out,
out.
Dan.
Here we
Onto the
go.
next jump.
Onto the short side, forced to step back.
Oh,
Good defence, brilliant
Really
defence.
nice
And
defence.
so important there that the link gets off the line to make the touch, because if her feet are on the line as the ball gets grounded, refs are more than happy to award the score.
Absolutely, and I think that's 6. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happening here?
Oh, it was 6, but there's an offside penalty.
We're
Oh,
subbing in defence
subbing is
here.
interesting. Back on. Take
It's
it
like
for the
they
team.
heard us.
Great decision, Anna. Here we go, and that's back to the short side, and France have given England a
Now,
lifeline.
composure, really important to get out of
Exit,
our half nice
exit.
and clean.
I think here we've had a couple of
Really
players
nice.
come early, which means that
She's
England might have
wings
to run
offside there,
backwards
I
to go
think.
on.
Surely wings offside there. Not called. England have to react. Ooh, good hands.
Kept him alive.
Oh, so good.
Here we go. Good scoop from B, and that's half court, I think.
No,
But we're playing on.
It was half court,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was.
I always like that though. If the ref doesn't pick up on it straight away, get that ball down. Let's get rolling. You can't look guilty.
My face definitely gives it away.
We saw a few earlier where there's like slight knock-ons, and they were stopping and looking at the ref, and you give that away, and then England boys 18's got away with one because the skipper just come pick the ball up, inject the pace. Ref don't have time to make a decision.
Love that. Let it play. Play to the whistle. That's like rule number 1 of learning sport. Just keep playing till the whistle blows.
So
here we go. Good ball move. Oh, if they can get a little bit of full momentum here, get the ball down, attack the toucher. Good.
Ooh. Good hands.
Oh, I thought you caught that, but the ref has said otherwise. Or is that a full pass? It's a full pass.
Referees becoming stricter and stricter the longer this game goes on.
I mean, again, I think England have probably gone, well, since their score in the first tap-off, they haven't really had a sniff at France's line here, have they?
No.
It's all been France. It's all been in this half. England are riding the pressure, but you can only ride it for so long, I feel. I feel like England really need to focus on their exits. Oh, good defence.
Good defence there. Really
Very
good
good
cover.
defence. Right, if you're in the box
but
here.
Again, it's getting out of their half now, isn't it?
You've got to go the distance.
Get out of their half.
You've got to leave it down on their scoreline. You've got to make France go the distance. Make them run.
Really nice yards there.
Good. And again, I feel like England, again, maybe a little thing. You've got a couple of players subbing early, which doesn't give too many inside options, and then we're having to run backwards to sub on, and that leads to mistakes like we've just seen. So if I was in England's box, I'd be saying, just hold, you know. Either come, you know, maybe one early, but we've got to stay and make sure, like you said, the first important thing is the ball. We've got to move the ball up and look after the ball.
And at the moment, France on the transition defence is sending single shooters up England's box side. I wonder if someone can stay for the check-off to create some separation.
Correct. And that is a great touch there.
Really nice cover, because that was great pace from the French coming off the pass there.
Here we go, mid counties. No, it's a sweeper, and haven't threatened the line. So again, England again off the hook. I'd love to see them exit here. Love to see them leave the ball down on France's scoreline.
Is there something to be said, and I know obviously it would demand a lot, is there something to be said of a pod that is just subbed on, driving up the field?
Here we go! Great speed.
Oh, hard touch. They'll get the penalty, the repeat set of 6, and that's the let-off. And I was about to say, is there something to be said for the pod just subbing on, just to drive down, because France have congested all the way over.
Sometimes you just do an away set. You've got to mix it up. I mean, if you're going to the box every single time you're predictable, and you've got to have that ability to go away.
They're against 5 England if they can go at the line.
Space for the wing.
That is a huge moment for England.
Sophia Lawton reeling it in, getting the ball down, ecstatic with her work.
Loves that one.
England.
See here, one of the French defenders just sent for time. So they're against 5. Not time, sorry, to the box.
4 subs. So there we go. Wins the outside shoulder. Causes some doubt from the player on the edge. And they had another player overlap as well. They had 2 out there.
It's superb work from Abigail Pritchard just to engage the French defender, turn their hips, then give the pass. And as you say, more than one option out there.
That is a sigh of relief for England's box, but France have got a lot of work to do now. They've got to come back from a 2. What a read.
Great read there.
Come on, Jess.
Jess. That is great work.
Told you, I'm not biased other than when it's my little sister making plays.
Family first.
Always.
Second, here we go again. Punch up forwards, get the ball down. But again, it's another exit
just creeping in, aren't they?
Just need, as you say, just need to go forwards, get the ball down.
Look at the French down the bottom.
It's so good.
I love this. I absolutely love it. Maybe down on the scoreboard, but not down in morale.
Oh, no,
Bringing the noise, getting around their team. You just love to see it. Here we go. France with a rooster, coming back to the open side, moving the ball, and that is one back to France.
Yeah, passive player coming round the outside, receives just a little check-off pass, creates just enough separation between the English middles.
Definitely just trying to release a little bit, and it's a nice little papa feel. So it's like, here's your rooster. Am I going to give it? No. And now I'm going to give it. Just sends that outside player
and a real
just
nice
a step
straight
out
in there for the finish and the dive at the line.
Again, you would
back
see
to
that.
one in it.
you wouldn't expect to be seeing this from recent years of like the Youth Atlantic Cup or, you know, JTC. It's just so good to see players with this skill.
Oh, lovely
good
cut.
Speed into that. Here we go. Good momentum. Coming open side. They've caused gaps in the French defence there. I love it. It's smooth. It's coming in. It's creative. It's giving these players an opportunity.
Changing the setups as well, manipulating the ball, giving the French defence something else to think about. This is fifth coming.
Into the
Hammer.
ML, which is where they've had some success before. To the short side. Comes to this right edge.
Really nice.
Oh, and the touch has been made.
She snapped it off the line.
Don't mind that at all. What a left to right as well. Hits the ML, the hammer, some people call it. Middle. That's a link coming in as a live player. Getting around, they're moving it to an edge. They're asking good questions of the French defence.
100%. And now England trying to put the squeeze on, and France have been able to do to them.
Good touch.
Good touch. Nothing hard in that.
Great
just winning
touch.
the ruck.
Look at this pressure.
And
That's
great
fourth
pressure.
touch
So
there.
that's, if England can press up here.
Oh, lovely pressure. Superb result.
So many teams talk about winning the midfield. If you win the midfield, you put yourself in a position to win the game. And that is, I feel like, England in the last 3 to 4 minutes in particular have just started to dial up, whether consciously or subconsciously. That's where they're getting some success.
Again, here we want to see them get to that 7 to have a good attacking chance at the line, though.
Link punish for Jess.
Good recycle.
Back. Don't mind that. Again, you've compressed them. There's 5 French players in quite a tight space here. So there is space on an edge. Here we go, 32. Is it an out ball? It is. 32 long. Space there. Is it down? I think it is.
It's down. Good control there from Clara as well. You see her call it. No, back down for a 32 on the left for me, please.
Clara, take a bow.
Yeah, it's just the composure from England.
Over there, you see her pointing, Sabres turned in, outside, wins the outside shoulder, Link tries to make an effort. What a dive, full outstretch, ball on the line. That is just brilliant to see. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and starting to show the variation as well. In the first half, running the short, early release, instead send them long.
Definitely, and like exactly that. It's just nice to see them expand out on the playbook, but France have managed to get one back in.
Really good honesty there.
Honesty.
Great. I mean, the sport is built on honesty, and that is, I mean, you've got to commend that. Love that from, again,
she's in the right position, isn't she? She obviously just misses it.
Yeah, ball's always down.
Good on her, and that brings the score difference back to 1.
Keeping it exciting.
Here we go. What can England do here? Can the French hold them out? No, it's another error.
This error count just creeping up for England now, and they need to start cutting out some of the unforced errors. Yes, when France are pressing you, fair enough. Well done, France. But some of these errors are unforced, and you're allowing France to build momentum back into the game. And 8 minutes to go, 1 try in it. It's more than doable for France.
It's an exciting place to be.
It is, particularly when you've got the French fans cheering you on as they are in such a passionate way as France tries to go around the end.
Defensive effort though, that's 5th.
But that is 5th, and there's not really much on, and great work there.
Really nice there.
Really nice there from Cara getting up. Just, again, commanding the troops around her. Draw, give, that's France sending up 1 shooter. They've done that quite consistently in this half, and actually England have done well in moments to pick it off. And as you said, if they can just get the ball down, cut out the uncontrolled errors, I think they'll be in a good position here. France.
Again, the pressure starting to come in from France with those shooters, though.
That's half. Here we go. You can drive in here.
Nice check around there.
And here's a 3-on-2, 2-on-1. Check it back in. 5th and final. What's happening here? Something from nothing.
Yeah, forward pass.
Forward pass.
Just lacking the half when they really needed it. They worked a really good link dump. No half there, and France are let off.
Definitely, but again, I like where England have left the ball. They're going to force France, who want a sub, to go the full way to their box, and that's 3rd, and they still haven't managed to get the legs off. England have definitely got the ascendancy. Oh, again, if they can go in 2s.
Really nice.
Is that 4th?
Yes, incorrect roll ball. England forced a turnover for all that pressure. And England, yes, they may miss a couple opportunities when they're in attack, but they're forcing. Oh, lovely dummy! Bye.
See ya. Here we go, and that's 1. 5 touches to come. Finding the line, but I think the French have recovered there to make that 2nd touch. Or was that 3rd?
3rd touch. This is forthcoming.
Here we go. So again, 1 genuine strike, maybe a phase play option if you're striking. What's happening here? Cara getting on the ball. That's NL, no. Mid, scooping short side. Ripping into a hole. Touch has been made. That was a great chop line there.
Lovely disguise on the play as well.
Nice.
Looked like they were sending the sweeping player. Not the case.
And we've still got the ball as England. Kara over the ball. Sweeper, this is fifth. Feed the sweeper. Step back. And what's the call going to be? Was it down? It was.
Kara Edwards
Boots it back to halfway.
I think that's B on the ball there. With the two plats in.
Beebe Graham, number 5.
I think it is, yeah.
A captain's performance.
so
Bang.
good.
There we go.
Grabs
Here.
the team by the scruff of the neck.
Back.
Oh,
What a
finding the
finish.
gap.
Go under.
And I'll tell you what, with just over 5 minutes to play, that gives a little bit of breathing space to the English team.
Yeah, and you know, this France side are capable of creating something from nothing, and now if they do, you have that extra score buffer just to secure the performance. Lovely touch from Iris Nazir, the swipe.
Nice. Oh,
Dropping early.
dropping early on 5th. I mean,
Big set, big attacking set here from France.
if you're in the French box, you need to be looking at how you're going to create the score in this set to keep yourself in the game. If you're in the English box, you need a big effort here from your players.
Really good recovery there.
Nice. I'd just like to see Iris just making the touch with her right hand there, trying to protect the short side, forcing the French back to the open side, but she's done well to recover and make that. And England are pushing them off the 7, although France have done well. Link punish, and they've made that, I think. And again, England are just giving them a bit of a sniff on the short side. So again, maybe that's something that both teams are probably looking at in terms of what's the touches exit here. As France pick up against the grain, big rip.
Good pressure up in the passing channel there from that link.
I
really
feel the
nice
space
to
is
see.
there. I feel the space is there for France, and if that goes to hand, that's potentially a 2-on-1. So they're identifying it, and here England need to exit. But again, 2 players subbing early. They might be in a bit of trouble after here, but again, it's another exit error from England.
Get those fresh legs on in D. Get yourself set.
As France look to move the ball to their
Good
box.
pressure there from the wing.
Catherine, that's brilliant positioning. Far winger often doesn't get the credit they deserve, but she's doing a fantastic job out there. Both teams far wingers. Ooh, is he going to get this one? I think she made it, but the ball was down first. Wow, that is a huge moment with 3.5 minutes to go. There is one in it.
Replay here, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the middle and promoted got called offside. Kara Edwards floated the line to make the touch.
Yeah.
She's still offside.
Yeah.
Play on, and does the touch come in?
Oh, it's close,
I would
isn't
not
it?
want to be a referee.
No, those calls are hard to make. But I'll tell you what, it makes it a tense finish to this game. And that, Jess has done well to get the ball down there, but it's another error from England. They're just
They've got to tighten up,
creeping in.
keep their heads in the game here.
Can they stay connected, stay composed? 2 minutes to go, just over 2 minutes to go.
Nice
France
pressure
need a
there.
score. England need to keep the ball and move the ball up the pitch. Good. Is that the winger coming in? That is Catherine coming in. Love that. You see that from Sammy Rogers from the Australian women's team so often, just hunting around on third touch. That's exactly what Catherine's done there. Brilliant to see.
Love it as well, because not a lot of teams will look for that winger out of position.
No.
So why not absolutely fly out the line?
Good footwork, and actually I don't mind this. So if England can just control the ball, you want to move it up, you want to give yourself a genuine scoring opportunity. Oh, they've let that one go there. If they can just hold on to it, end it in this far corner where they're heading towards. But that's another error. But again, they've moved the ball up. They're going to make France go the distance. They're going to need to get all the way to their sub-box and then fresh legs onto the field to score. So if you're in England, that's probably where you want it to end.
100%, and now you can really put the squeeze on. You see the winger again, Catherine, flying out the line.
MVP performance from Catherine.
Superb.
Just so confident.
This is fifth coming.
And again, that's forward.
Way forward in England. All the
how you
defensive
deal with
pressure.
set.
100%, and 90 seconds remain.
That is such, I feel like that's not going to get the credit it deserves, but that right there is
Superb.
just brilliant. I mean, 2, 3 in a row, huge efforts, and now the composure on the ball.
Use
You've
this
got
set
time.
of 6.
Absolutely. Find the line, create a genuine scoring opportunity, create doubt in the defence, kill the clock, be smart.
her there.
Back to her. Here we
Nice.
go. We've got some space. Still got some space. Oh, is that 6 to go? That is. With a minute
That's
to go.
okay.
Yeah.
France
That's
are going to have to
okay.
work. France need to get the ball back. They need to work hard. England need to keep the ball.
Yeah, it's game management now for England. Just take your time, eat some seconds off the clock. Every touch, take a moment. Maybe ask the ref, what's the touch count? We
Correct.
can use these tools.
I wouldn't
Find the
mind them
line.
getting another
Find the
one
line.
here.
Find the line. Good. Love that.
You can see on the sweeper setup, space is back against the grain. I
It
wonder, last 30 seconds. Can
Does
we
it
see
go?
yeah, let's see a half pickup. There's no
Someone's
half
got That's
So like
again.
tying up here. Nice and
Right, 25
tidy.
seconds. France
Work
might have
hard.
one more go. If they can use the space, and they can go down the net. Huge chase back. Huge chase. Is she going to get there? She isn't. And it looks like they're going to drop off.
Oh my word.
Exceptional pace down the wing there from France. This is big.
Wow. And I'll tell you what, if you're going into a drop-off, you want to be the team that's just scored. Here we go.
This is huge.
Let's go. Loss of energy from both boxes.
We're just watching this replay. We're watching that pace down the wing. What a way to come back into a drop-off. You said you wanted another one.
Yeah,
Not
I know.
with your sister
Yeah,
in
I'm
it,
not sure how
but
much
here
I
we
want
are.
it now.
It is here now.
Here
One
we
for the
go.
spectators.
Yeah, and just to remind everyone, our drop-off works 2 minutes a time, 4 aside. If we're even at the end of those 2 minutes, we go to 3 aside. Golden score. So it is a real nail biter.
It's exciting stuff. It is exciting.
Oh.
I'm trying to mean that. I'm trying.
Yeah, without trying to sound too nervous at the same time.
Come on, here we go. What have we got? You've got the tap off. You've got the advantage. Can they stay composed?
This
Can
is
they create
anyone's-
the score? This
This is anyone's game.
anyone's game. Let's see.
What an end to what has been a superb Atlantic Youth Touch Cup.
I mean, such a fitting end.
That's it.
Such a fitting end.
Penalty to England, 6 to go.
So,
Can
get
you
yourself
get some
down to
strikes
that
at the line?
England. Get down there.
Got to go forwards. You've got to get to the 7. You don't want to be striking from too far out. Ooh. Although a
It's
little
gone
bit of
to
a different
hand.
play. Second. Breathe. Find your composure. That's me. That's, the players get to the 7. You do
And
your
again,
thing.
it might look very different, but in terms of your way of attacking, you still want the same kind of structures. You want to
Absolutely.
move those middles apart, and then you want to find the line.
Here we go. Ball down.
So
Sweeper
there's sweeper
coming.
coming, don't mind that.
Oh, we've got to try and feed the sweep there. I feel it's a little bit scattered, but they've got an opportunity. If they go left, big rip. Oh, good recovery there from
for the
France.
French defence.
They've pretty much used a minute. The French have got a minute to take the ball down. I feel like if they can.
That pressure from England that we've
Here
seen
we
in
go.
defence the whole time, they need
And
to find that now.
England without their key winger, Catherine, out there, who's done such hard work around third, which means that England are going to have to step up against fresh legs coming onto the field, and we know how quick the French can be.
Good touch there from number 10. Step up again, pressure on. Good
Fifth.
from 4.
Here we go. There's some space, and that's a touch and pass.
Really, really nice defence there.
Ball
Good, solid
back
touches
with England.
there.
30 seconds to go until we're down to 3, so I feel like England might end up attacking with 3 players on the field, although they only have 3 players on at the moment, and they are quite fatigued.
Legs are heavy.
We need some fresh
to go
legs.
forwards.
We need
nice
to move the
from
ball forward.
Eloise there.
Great work. Here we go. There's some space right there. No, can she go? Go the distance. Eloise, number 11.
Oh my goodness! Oh, round the outside of the French defence. That's it! What a finish there from England.
You cannot write this.
France didn't ask to take it to drop off and then save again. That pace, I can't cope.
Eloise.
Oh my word, the pace around the outside. What a way to end it in England. Jubilant scenes.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
The third drop of the finals day. Oh my gosh.
I don't think my nerves can take anymore.
Oh, I mean, you look, again, we're thinking big picture, we're thinking these are young athletes coming up, you've got a range of ages. What an experience to go through from both sides, you know. The French girls have fought so hard. They've turned around a huge... I think England nilled them yesterday. It must have been like, you know, it was a huge score result. So to take it from that to a drop-off, absolutely commendable. And the way that they've handled themselves, they scored in the last minute of the game to take it to drop off. I mean,
and you can see them celebrating now at the back. They're so happy, and what a way.
Just fantastic, and they should be so proud. And as should the English girls. I mean, it looks like it's all been ended in great spirit. What an experience to be a part of. They should look forward to watching this back and both teams being so proud of what they've done.
I mean, what an exhibition of women's sport. Come on, like, what more can you ask for? You had a last-minute try in a normal time, last-minute try in drop-off as well. I mean, if you literally could not write it.
You couldn't.
And it looks so good. I mean, you would not think that this is youth touch. I mean, some of the tactics and the bits going on are just absolutely fantastic. As Jess is joining everyone.
I think you might have...
What? Oh my gosh.
So good.
Well,
so good.
Well done.
Oh, the scenes on the field as well. Oh, do you want this one? You good there? Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. There we go.
Oh, amazing. I've got to say, I'm a little bit choked up. I'm a little bit choked up. It's been such a pleasure. I mean, what was said at half-time, because you got the score right at the end. We're going to have to do something a little bit professional now. What was said at half-time, you got the equalising score. I mean, were you happy with the first half performance?
Deep breaths, you got it.
Yeah, we were happy with the first half. We did really well. I think we were a little bit panicky just because of the amount of people watching and lots of French supporters as well. It does kind of get in your head sometimes, but we did really well. We just said, be patient, do our stuff. We beat these, I think 7-0 yesterday, and we just said, just do exactly what we did yesterday and keep working through it.
Yeah, and you could see in the 7, you got the try early doors in the second half that really sort of set the tone for the rest of the game. Did you always have the confidence you were going to go and win that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We just decided to back ourselves. We knew we could do it. It's just the amount of pressure and energy.
No link punish for yourself?
No. I tried. Missed the line a little bit, so we decided probably wasn't on.
Squeeze a little bit over. We're joined by coach as well, Andy Pennicourt. We're in that camera right there, Andy.
Oh, hello.
What was said at half-time, because that performance was electric in the second half?
What was said at half-time? I mean, we just had to try and calm it down a bit in the box and just try and get everyone to be a bit more level-headed and just watch what we were doing on the ball. There was a lot of checking off or trying to check off in the first half, and we just had to get them to initiate the touches and sort of start getting back into the game.
Yeah, 100%. And then when it went to drop off, what was being said? Was it just, look, we need to stick to our structures, we need to keep doing what we're doing, or was it, by any means, go out there and win it?
It was go out there and win it. They knew what they had to do. We'd lost one of our players who was part of our key setup for the drop-off. So it was go out and win it, and we did.
Well, how are you feeling?
So relieved. Oh my God. So relieved.
Yeah, it's superb. I mean, you really couldn't ask for anything else, and what an exhibition of women's sport, first and foremost, showing that everyone can play. That's the one. You're like old school golf commentators, right to the lip. That's the one. But what a way to finish the day. I mean, we were talking to Jess. Jess said, did beat France 7-0 yesterday, so there's the confidence there. Were you surprised at how they came back?
Very surprised, yeah.
I think for me with that, it's you can never tell. So as we know very well from last year, we went down to drop off with the Welsh team, and this year again with the French team. I just hope it doesn't become a habit.
Well, honestly, I would like to say I loved watching drop off, because any other drop off I was all for. Not that one. I wanted the result wrapped up as quickly as possible. But we got there in the end, and very well done to the both of you. I'll let you celebrate with your team. But
thanks very much.
Superb stuff. What a way to end what has been an amazing tournament. So we're going to wrap up here. My voice is going. I've got a headache. I mean, you can't really ask for much more as an exhibition for touch. We're joined by Dom. We'll get the mics back on. We'll do 5 minutes. Yeah, go on, why not? I mean, I don't want to talk anymore, but we've got to. I mean, just wrap up what we've seen for the finals.
I mean, as a day, it's just been fantastic. I mean, the quality of games and the quality of player from all of the games that we've seen today is just exciting. It's exciting for the future. We spoke about this as the day goes on. You go, actually, to be honest, there's a lot of players in our squad who are kind of like our era, who are, you know, we're hanging on. We've got strong fingers.
we're not going to be in there much longer, that's for sure.
Our fingers are definitely not strong enough, having watched the games today. I mean, the future's bright from all countries, not just England, but you look at that and you're like, there's tactical changes, there's real good technical skills, there's great attitudes, great people, great coaches around. It's just an exciting place to be.
And also, I think difficult when you're invested, but that's what finals for you, isn't it? As if we've had that many drop-offs in the last day.
No, I can't believe
it's
it.
Insane.
Could not write it. And I think touch as a whole is levelling up. Absolutely can't wait to see what next year's going to bring.
Honestly, I hate to show my age, but when I started playing, there wasn't a junior setup.
Yes,
so,
going to be joined.
Here we go. Take my mic.
Here we go. Joined by Chris Wormuth. I mean, sum it up, mate. Sum it up.
Finals football. What can you say? I think you know, going into today, you're never quite sure what's going to happen with. You know, with the games, and you know, especially when it's second 2v3 on the show pitch, and the kind of games you're going to get. But quite frankly, I think anybody watching this back is going to be royally entertained for hours and hours and hours and hours on end going forward. And I know Touch Football Australia are here. There's Chief Exec and Head of High Performance. They're both here. They're going to take it back, and I think people will look at European Touch and go, you know, it's not just about England now. And also, when you look at how much the South Africans have developed over the course of the last 3.5 days, you know, I remember the mixed 20s lost to our boys 18s, lost to the England boys 18s on the first day, and it was quite comfortable. And yet, I mean, that final, you know, and then to come from, you know, a bit of baseball, you know, it's like the England cricket team, isn't it? You're coming from 2-0 down to tie things up at 2-2, and then to go into extra time. But I think overall, as a combination, as a tournament in itself, it's been a fantastic few days. The atmosphere's been great. The weather yesterday wasn't great, but you know, everybody lived with it. But I think as a bit of a shakedown between a Euros and a World Cup, I think, you know, we've learned a lot as an organisation in terms of things that can be done logistically, things that could be improved logistically. We'll have a debrief. Bill Kerr's been here from FIT all weekend. You know, he's you know, one of the gurus of the world sport, of the world game. So I think it's, you know, we can take a massive amount from it, and consolidating the experience of hosting multiple European championships, and really, you know, on was it Thursday? You lose track of days, don't you? On Thursday morning, I came in here and I was already buzzing for 24. In terms of seeing all the world flags and so on. And at the end of the weekend, I'm even more buzzing because I think we've got the potential to have a fantastic World Cup here at Highfields Sports Complex next year.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's something to be said about the talent pool at the moment for England. It's so deep, so wide, able to flesh out a squad for every single age group available right now. I would not want to be a coach. Not want to be a coach.
I think as well, you look at how the World Cups have progressed since, you know, I wasn't playing in 2011, but 2015 to 2019, like the gap is getting smaller in terms of us as a nation and us as probably a continent. And, you know, you've seen success from Scotland mixed open getting a bronze medal at the Touch World Cup in 2019. You've got a lot of teams who I think will be starting to knock on the door. You've got teams travelling down under. I feel like the whole gapping in the global sport will naturally get smaller, and particularly having seen the 15s, the 18s, the 20s, the pathway and the pipeline of players that we've got, it's something to celebrate, because they will be joining the open squads inevitably, immediately or in the next few years, and they will be the ones to carry the flag forwards.
And both of you have been involved in the high performance setups, and so this is a question from me to you, is that as players, you know, we saw how you know, how much the mixed 18s were, you know, they pipped by Wales, and also the mixed 15s pushed by France. Or you know, the fact that there are multiple teams competing can only be good for England, but also for France, for Wales, for you know, for the European game as a whole, as they get used to competition.
Well, steel sharpens steel, right? So
absolutely.
As touch grows in the UK, it then encourages other nations in Europe to grow with it. And we've seen, you know, France and Wales. I've got to give a special shout out to France, because all throughout this weekend they've been electric. They've finally found a way to put the French flair into structure, and you know, very, very well drilled England defences are struggling to cope with it. And I've got a feeling that as the years roll through, and as there's more competitions, and as international teams start to play against each other more often, you're going to see the level of touch increase. And if I was the Southern Hemisphere, keeping an eye out.
Yeah, definitely keeping an eye. And I think, again, if you look at probably the JTC results in the last few years, you'd probably say that, you know, from an England point of view, teams weren't necessarily getting the results, but the results aren't important, let's be honest. I mean, obviously it's important for the players and it's important that they feel like they're a part of something, but you've got to ask yourself, well, what games do we want to be winning? And ultimately, you know, competing at World Cups, I imagine, is probably the end goal. So the fact that they're getting to play with great coaching, they're getting tactical changes, they're being challenged technically, they're making decisions, that's a brilliant outcome. And I feel the more that our teams and our younger teams are doing that consistently, the results will come. They will come at opens levels. Yeah. So that's brilliant.
And as organisations as well, I think it's been really heartening to see how much the national touch associations in Europe, particularly France, have pushed their structure. They're really growing the game. You know, we've spent a lot of time in England growing the national touch series, growing the nationals, increasing the high performance setup. And France, you know, I think they're based in Vichy in terms of for their high performance setup. You know, they've taken massive strides as an organisation. Scotland, having chatted to them, you know, they're really pushing to get back to where they were. Wales. You know, again, we've seen the potential for teams and the organisational structure as well. You know, so and Ireland, you know, with the partnership between Ireland Touch and the IRFU, were you know, and you're seeing those structures as organisations. So it's not just about the teams, which is great, but teams have to be underpinned by structure. And the organisation, you know, we're looking at TFA, we're looking at Touch New Zealand, and you know, people look at England Touch and how we structure things. And I think overall, we've been, you know, it's been really, really good to see that as well. And I'm going to leave the two of you to talk now because I've got to go and take photos.
So must be nice.
But I think as well, and this is something that followed on from last year's Euros, is that, you know, the explanation of having, you know, we're really fortunate to have such fantastic people who talk about touch eloquently, who are passionate about it, really knowledgeable about it. So thanks to the pair of you, thanks to Zan, thanks to everybody from all of the NTAs who's contributed over the course of the last couple of days, especially, you know, we've had, you know, South African representation. I was trying to persuade somebody from the USA, couldn't quite make it happen, but it's, but you know, to have everybody talking and you know, and so thank you very much for the way you've covered this weekend, and to everybody at Next Gen 15.
Right, no worries, I'm in ready time, and the sport's got me hooked. And, you know, I think the presentation's about to begin, and I just want to finish by saying something that has changed since I was a junior playing touch is the clear pathway from junior touch to elite touch and then to the men's and women's opens categories. And I think that stems with the continuity of tactics. It's almost preparing our next generation for the transition over. And I think I'll be fair in saying that didn't exist a few years ago.
No, not at all. And I think you're bang on the money there. And I think that's a conscious effort. And you can only speak from experience. So knowing the work that particularly like Tim Osborne, Benny Powell with the women's, as you mentioned, you know, there's people in the squad who are part of the junior setup, and I've spoken to John Weston Stanley, who's been the head coach of the boys 20s. They're running very similar patterns, almost identical to kind of what we're running, not to the same extent, but the introduction's there. So that's only going to help their transition come in and just mean that system flows. So you're bang on the money. It's an exciting time to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. And touch is growing not only in the UK but everywhere across Europe. And I think we will bow out gracefully as the award ceremonies begin. So thank you very much for joining us for these past 4 days. It's been amazing. I'm going to give my voice a break. Thank you, Don, for joining us. It's been amazing, as per usual. And we'll let Touch do the rest of the talking.
Let's go and have a nice coffee.
My last thank you is going to go to this army behind me, the army of volunteers and an events team, all dressed in this very luminous orange that Inferno have kicked us out in. But please give your real appreciation to this fantastic group of events volunteers and staff. And we did this last year for the Euros, we did it again this time. We've had a little bit of a vote internally on who our volunteers of the week are going to be, so don't wander off, get back over there, you lots. So we came to a tie, so we're going to give it to two of them together. There's a bit of disappointment in their household, so hopefully this will cheer them up a little bit when they get home. I apologise to Theo and Isaac, but the volunteers of the week are Sam and Laura.
So a big shout out to the volunteers. These are the people that make it all happen for us. at every event.
And Theo and Isaac, that is
Theo and
their
Laura
Atlantic
get the
football,
plaudits.
not yours. Just one last thank you from me goes to all of the media, photography, broadcast streaming team. They've been behind the scenes all the way through. We've put the broadcast team particularly through a bit of an awkward couple of days, shifting the cameras twice. They were here the earliest, they were here the latest. Missed dinner on Friday or Saturday, I can't remember when it was you were doing it, but big thanks to all of you.
And that's us, Next Gen 15, getting the biggest applause of the day.
So we're going to get a presentation underway. Just want to firstly say, this sport is great. What better theatre do you get than those finals out there? And obviously wearing my England hat, disappointment, but from an event hat, what a phenomenal outcome to have mixed different winners each of those finals. So really, really good, great spectacle for the sport. It's going to keep growing.
Big shout out how good
For the
those games
presentations,
were.
joined by
We
my
couldn't
chair
agree
of
more.
Touch, Mr. Tim Loveridge, and General Manager at Federation of International Touch, Bill Kerr. They're going to be presenting for us. We have got referee medals for all of the categories. We've also got gold, silver for all of the categories, and bronze for all of those that we've got 3 teams or more in, which you can work that one out yourselves, but it's pretty much everybody. Right, mixed 20s first. We do it in the order that we had the final, so mixed 20s up first. I'm hoping our referees are still here, but our mixed 20s referees, Hannah Shepherd, Matthew Sharkey, Duncan Mascarenas, come and get your final medals, please.
And this
You
is
better
for
be here, better
the
not be in that
referees
market
who
about-
referee in the mixed 20s games. Remember, the guys who
anyone tell Robin we're getting
might
these
not have the
referees
same opinion as us, but theirs are the most important one. That's what it's all about. They've done an absolutely cracking job, and there's been some heated debate about some of the decisions, but they've kept it on the level the whole time. So good call out to them. And they are obviously in the bar. Or they're making it, oh no, they're coming forward, making their way through the crowd.
Yes, Duncan, I did call you. Are the refs in amongst it somewhere? Sharky's gone, Hannah. Right, that means you get all 3, don't you? Come.
So,
Right, give Duncan a congratulations. Over there, mate.
on behalf of the referees, one of the referees will go and collect the medals for the under-20s. Then we have the standard photos, where everybody smiles, looks great. Loveridge, Kerr and
And
Duncan.
staying in the mixed 20s, thanks to the referees. Our silver medalist in the mixed 20s goes to South Africa.
So the silver medalist is for me to say in the mixed 20s, South Africa, and the
There's more than
2
two of you in
representatives.
this team.
There are
Have
2
we got any
more
more
than
mixed
2 in the
20s
team.
still here, South
But,
Africa?
these are the representatives of that
You
team.
get medals, you lot, come on.
No, here we go. There's the rest of them. Making their way up. They played such a big part in this weekend. Entertaining touch was an understatement. Really, really did deliver on the showcase. And every game they were in right to the last minute. So they get the photos in front of the banner because they're not champions. And the others hopefully will go behind.
Please do give South Africa a big applause.
South
They've come
Africa,
not quite the furthest, but
20s.
almost the furthest. Brought 5 teams here. Massive thanks to the Beam, Tabo and the team at Touch South Africa. Right, straight up we're going to do player of the final next from that game. We have chosen these for each of the games. The player of the final, and I'm delighted to say this, I know him very well, goes to mixed 20s, Tom Pollard.
Tom Pollard, the mixed 20s player of the tournament. Influential was an understatement. He was at the centre of nearly
Well
everything.
done, Tom, thoroughly deserved. You can
Great
stay up
player.
here,
Really,
because
really,
whilst Tom's up here, I'm going to bring up the rest of the England mixed
really
20s.
did deliver.
Atlantic Cup, mixed 20s finals goes to Team England. Come on, Caris.
And there's the rest of the crew coming up. Headwear obligatory. Some of the ponytails are out now. They'll get their medal and they will make their way behind the banner. They have been brilliant all 4 days, from Thursday night all the way through today. They delivered every time they've been asked. Really, really impressive. Great little unit. And these will find themselves down in
mixed 20 gold medalists, Atlantic Youth Cup champions.
Later in the year. What a group. Absolutely brilliant. Player of the tournament as well. Very happy bunnies.
And that was the first of 4
Kitty the
finals
tram
that went
goes
down
past.
to the wire here on field 1. The second one, mixed 18s, and I bring the referees up first for that game. Referees for the mixed 18s were Fergal Evans, John Beaton, and David Cathala.
The mixed 18s referees will now get their medals. And remember, without them we don't have a game, so might not always agree with them, but one thing we do know is they're always right.
Thanks, gents. Very well, referee. Thank you. Mixed 18s bronze medalist comes up next. That goes to Team France, please.
France, the bronze medalists in the mixed 18s.
Well done, France.
They brought such great support this weekend. Invaded the pitch after every game. They really did enter in the spirit of it. The tricolour is there. Bring everybody in. They get their bronze medals. So massively entered into the spirit of this tournament. You could hear them and their fans all day. They were in the on the bank, around the side.
Well done to France. Give them a big cheer, please. Well done, France.
Yeah. Well done. Vive la France.
Hello.
Our silver medalists, I know they'll be bitterly disappointed, but they played their part in the final as last year. Our silver medalist goes to Team England.
Silver medalists in the game, and what a game it was. Team England, they really, really did perform well. Just tipped at the post. But such a great display by them. And that's been, once again, like all teams, all weekend. But they really were unlucky in that game. A little bit of rain just seems to be popping in. I'm sure we'll let us stay off while the presentations are completed. Bill Kerr and Mr. Loveridge with the medals. team taking it, and they'll get their team photo. That's one to remember for a good few years, and a lot of these will be going on to bigger and better things in the touch world. There's so much talent on display. What a fine bunch they are too.
Before I bring our gold medalists up, we'll just do the player of the final. Goes to Wales, Gethin O'Callaghan.
The player of the tournament age group, Gethin O'Callaghan. Brilliant in the final, and also exceptional on the mic with us as well. He did some commentary with us over the 2 days.
Gethin's got his photo. Can I get the mixed 18s Welsh team up? Coleman is the Atlantic Youth Touch Cup.
Brecon College.
Very thoroughly deserved. Back
now
to
on
win last
to
year
Bristol
in the
Bears.
Euros.
Also, Jaband on the co-coms. Interview was pretty good as well. And the Wales 18s come up. What a final that was. O'Callaghan just created that final try at the end to pip England. Crutches and all. Draped in the Welsh flag. And got to be repositioned behind the banner. Yeah, they've now been told, get behind. We'll be popping back down the M5, M4. A little bit of the, maybe some of them are going straight across, but very, very proud Welsh today. And they really did deliver. They looked really, really impressive the whole time, and in the final, under the pressure, in the drop-off they got there.
Next, mixed 15s presentation.
Brilliant stuff.
And I'd like to welcome the referees to the final first mixed 15s. Oliver Exton, Leo
And now we're doing the
and
mixed
Ethan
15s.
McCarthy. Only come you three, please.
And the referees from the mixed 15s. Quite right. We'll get there. Congratulations. Yeah, don't they look lovely? They do it all in height order as well. All symmetrical. It's very nice.
Next up, mixed 15s goes bronze medal winners goes to Wales. And Wales.
Bronze medal in the under 15s, Wales. Yeah, collect the medals and sit in the front for their photo. What a future Wales has in touch. 18's just won, 15's bronze medalists. Really impressive. And they run everybody so close. They're going to put the coaches in the middle.
Well done, Wales, bronze medal winners in the mixed 15s. They will give a big cheer.
pop up with their photos. Some very happy parents.
And if I can now get on stage the silver medal winners, again, will be bitterly disappointed, but played fantastically in their part in the final. That goes to Team England.
Silver medalist Team England once again took it right to the wire, as in every final they were so close, and they didn't disappoint here as well. The last of them get their medals, they're all pushed in the right direction. Silver medalists in the 15s. England. Nearly symmetrical, pretty good effort.
Before we get fronts up as champions, the player of the final goes to France. I believe number 5, Leia Martin Mendez Lopez.
Maya Latina Lopez, player of the tournament.
Leia first.
There she is. She's going to get the player of the tournament in her age group. Also, the most amazing dreadlocks. We commented on that yesterday, I think it was. Made them all tick. And now they're going to get their gold medals.
Next, so we get the boys 18s ready for their presentation.
And the French crowd starting singing as well. And it's good we have 2 people giving out medals, so we go through them twice as quick. A lot of thought been given to that, because nobody wants to stand around forever. And what fine singers, what fine voices they've got as well. Congratulations, France, the under-15s winners. Once again, great future. Yes, they look happy. They certainly are. Now we move on to the 18s.
So boys 18s, we ran, although it was a round robin, we have selected referees from that last game to award the referees of the final. So that goes to Nicholas van der Rit, Dan Harrison and Jack Harris. I know all three are well. Come on up, gents.
And the referees, as you said, round robin, but the ones they picked out did a cracking job, as did all the referees, but really, really good stuff from them. Great experience. I reckon the guy in the cap will be in the middle and get their symmetry right again. Yeah, there we go. What a great looking front row.
So we have got medals for all 3 of the teams in the 18s. We're going to have Team Ireland up to collect their bronze medal, please. Well done to Ireland.
So bronze medalists in the boys 18s. Ireland as the drone. Picking up some more photography here, players above us.
Get your umbrellas up. Well done to Ireland. To try and get this going, if I can bring Wales up to the front. Boys 18 silver medalist goes to Wales. Well done, Wales.
And Wales get their medals for the boys 18s. They just couldn't hold off another 10 minutes. And
well done to Wales.
Excellent there with the Welsh Dragon flag in front of them.
Just before I bring England up, the player of the final game for England goes to Seb Conahan.
And Seb Callahan is the player of that tournament. Seb comes up to get his medal. The rain is coming down quite heavy now.
Well done, Sam. Yeah, come on, Matty, bring the boys up. Well done, boys, 18s, England. Gold medalist winners and Atlantic Youth Touch champions.
So the winners of the 18s, boys, England. And correctly, they will go behind the banner. Coming down very heavy now. This is probably the worst weather of the 2 days. Saved it right at the end. Yeah, it's pouring.
On to women's 20s, and if I can have the three referees, Jen Lee, Robin Bird, Kathy van der Rit, please.
And the women's 20s trying to get through them as quickly as possible.
And whilst we get wet, if we have Team France to get ready, women's 20s bronze medalist goes to Team France. Up you come. Team France, women's 20s. And whilst France are getting medals, if I can ask the silver medalist just to come to the side here. That's South Africa, silver medalist in the women's 20s.
Trying to get through to the end of the presentations, the women's 20s in France. And South Africa up next. The runners up.
Next time we're going to South Africa to play this tournament.
Really heavy rain just eases off a little.
Billy, did you hear that? Just while we're doing these medals, I just want to take a thank you out for the teams that won't feature in this presentations. Scotland, who went home earlier, their mixed 18s, thank you very much. Belgium, 15s and 18s, thank you very much. Huge thank you to Cayman Islands, who trekked over their 15s. To China and their 15s, travelled 8,000 miles to get here. And to Team USA, huge thank you to all of you for taking part in the Atlantic Cup today and across the weekend.
Cayman Islands.
Right,
Scotland,
South Africa got their photo.
Everybody's
The player of the
here.
final for the women's 20s.
And the women's 20s final
Goes to Ella Housel.
Ella Housel was the player of the final for England. She'll come up and get her medal. The rain has just eased off, hasn't stopped, it's eased off.
And the rest of you get up. Our gold medalist, women's 20s division, goes to England.
And the winners in the 20s women was England.
Next up's going to be our men's 20s. If I get the referees from that game ready.
The 20s are next, the 18s, sorry.
I know we're getting wet. It's 2 more to go. The bar is open.
Bar is open. We need hot air dryers at the moment. And there's the champions. And they look splendid behind that. There we go. The last of them fall in place. And what a splendid bunch they look as well.
Well done, Atlantic Cup champions, Team England for the women's 20s division. Up next, men's 20s. If we have the referees, please. Geordie Bitlock, Alice Watchorn, and a special mention with his 150th cap goes to Sylvain Charas.
So the referees for the 20s.
Just because it's his 150th, thinks he can wear flip-flops for this.
Apologies. Any language that picked up from the mic over there?
Well, some of the photo, if I could bring up the bronze medalists in our men's 20s. That's Team France. Bronze medalists, please. France.
Yeah, the bronze medalist, France.
Do we have France still, the 20s?
France, the bronze medalists. The obligatory bucket hat and a couple of caps.
Well done to France. Labib, if I get your men's 20s just to come round the back. Well done. Silver medalist, South Africa.
Fine bunch of men. He's got his arm in a sling as well. And now the silver medalist, South Africa. Don't tread on my toe, he says. And he did. Everybody just hoarding the umbrellas and be trying to stay dry to the end.
Come on, let's give this lot a little bit of support. Well done, South Africa.
South Africa, they travelled here, they beat 5 teams, and they've been absolutely brilliant all weekend. As mentioned as well, shout out University of Nottingham, amazing hosts. Food was excellent, accommodation great. The grounds here have been brilliant. They've been great.
Thanks. Before we bring the team up for England for the men's 20s, a player of the final goes to Max Pennison.
The 20s goes to Max. Is he here? Max Pennicard. The man that wears the bucket hat when he plays as well.
And if we can bring the rest of the England men's 20s up, gold medal winners, Atlantic Youth Touch Cup goes to England. Well done, boys.
Team England at the 20s will come up and get their medals. Team England, the 20s. I believe it's the final presentation of the day. We nearly squeezed them all in, just got soaked at the end there.
She's upstairs.
Organise yourself.
Last but not least, Girls 18s. If I got team ref, please. Kayla McCracken, Julia Martin, Denise Soubier.
Organise themselves.
Thank you very much, team ref.
In front of that banner. Looks like they've done it. Yeah, they're organised, they're done. Some Neil.
Still fresh as daisies.
What a fine bunch of men. Brilliant stuff. Now the referees from the women's picking up their medals.
And Girls 18's bronze medalists, again a big cheer for them, of course, South Africa!
And this Atlantic Youth Touch Cup 2023 has really delivered. It's been brilliant. There's the rest from the final. And now South Africa picking up the bronze.
You break the mic.
I don't know what happened to my co-coms that we could talk about these games as it went on, but they've gone off somewhere.
I expect a song, girls. You singing?
We'll get a song
Boys
from South
sang.
Africa.
If we get our silver medalists up whilst we celebrate South Africa, our silver medalist France, if you can come up behind the photos, please come on this side for the silver medal.
One of the 5 teams that came out here really have been part of this. Really made their presence felt all the time. Their fans and the players. And now France, who's probably tipped everybody with the crowd they bought.
And just thinking back to this game, finished with a drop-off right there in the corner. France nearly sneaked it beforehand, but those 4 games on this field were all phenomenal games. Both teams in every final made a huge impact on how good that finish was. So thank you to everybody.
Remember, this game, as Chris was saying there, went to a drop-off. Nearly won it in the corner, and then the length of the pitch. Nearly the length of the pitch. I'm sure by the time she tells it a few times in the pub, it'll be the length of the pitch. Won it right at the death. But these girls really did show a good account of themselves. Well done, France, quite right. Well done. Now, last but not least, even.
Right, before we bring the team up, but our player of the final for the last category, Girls 18s, goes to Eloise. Stepped up from mixed 15s last year, phenomenal player, made an impact all season at Club and Country. Well done, Eloise. And if I can bring the rest of the Girls 18s, Team England gold medal winners, tried their hardest to throw it away. Andy was probably pretty nervous. Well done, team.
Eloise Hildebrand, player of the tournament, but they all played their part. Absolutely brilliant stuff. They will get to stand behind that Atlantic Cup Champions Trophy banner and lift the trophy. in the middle there, Jessica Wright. Joe Wright, who's been commentating with us for the last 4 days, little sister. They even did some commentary together. And just brilliant from Joe all weekend. Big shout out to Joe, Don Tripp, Susanna, Mark, T-Boat, Angus Savage, Chris Simon came on board, interviews with Chris Wearmouth. We had Josephine from Belgium.
So that's the presentations done. Again, thanks to Tim, thanks to Bill. Bill's going to say a few words just before we close off. Just from me, hope to see you in a little under a year's time back here, if not before. Thank you very much. Safe journeys home.
Champions under 18s. It's England, and it's on that note that Next Gen 15 say thank you very much for joining us. It's been a brilliant weekend. 4 days of touch rugby here at University of Nottingham, Riverside, in the heart of England. And we wish you adieu and say thank you very much indeed for being with us. And let's look forward to the next one.
I would just like to say, when you go home and think 32 teams here and what a great time you had, think in 1 year's time, 4 times that many, and what a fantastic event it will be. Thank you, England, for being